Happy holidays and welcome to the December edition of Warrior Supercast, the podcast for the Wittenwood School District highlighting the superstars of that district. I am very fortunate to have the year ending with Karina Denny. Karina, of course, the Community and Public Engagement Coordinator. It's a tough title, that's why I have to keep it written down.
Right.
You probably
long.
have it.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
It is.
But I'm glad that you're here because we're going to discuss basically a year-end review. We have gone through a great year in 2016. I don't know if we could have said that come November had things changed in the outcome. However, we have built, especially if anybody's been watching or listening to the podcast, you've probably seen the great progression that has come from our early humble beginnings in discussing new technology to the proposed campuses to now what will be the campus to today.
Right.
And so I'm glad that you're here. Let's kind of wrap up 2016 and ring in 2017.
It is always a pleasure to be here. We appreciate Waycross and the partnership we have with you guys.
Absolutely.
But it is an extremely exciting time to be at Wynnewood City Schools. And from our new tech launch, which, as you know, we're in our first of 2 years to implement new tech district-wide.
District-wide, yes.
So pre-K all the way through 12th grade. This year we have 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So it's been really a fantastic year so far. I've actually been able to go in classrooms and see some project launches, some project culminations. I was actually in a classroom yesterday where they were presenting their virtual history museums from World War I.
Interesting.
So yes, it was fantastic. And so I got the opportunity to do that. And then actually last week I was able to go into our pre-calculus, they call it PCAP, pre-calculus physics classroom, where they were launching a project around curling.
Oh. So
the Olympic sport.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I had just been reading up a little bit more on curling, which is a very interesting sport. But to do that, I do want to go back and point out something for our listeners and watchers who noticed something. You gave that name, that class, a specific name.
Right.
It's an amalgamation between two classes now, because that's what the new technology is bringing to it, and the project-based learning has allowed us to do. We're now merging two like-minded subjects into one, kind of like an Oreo of some sort.
Absolutely, and this class actually is in its very first year. The brainchild behind it was two of our fantastic teachers of the high school, Coach C, Brad Samina-Wazalewski.
Who actually was one of our guests here at the podcast.
And Josh Omsteds. And what's exciting about this class is that, putting the subjects together the way they're doing it and co-teaching physics and pre-calculus, they are now 6 weeks ahead of their curriculum schedule.
That's amazing.
So, when they compare it to their solo classes or their individual classes, they're 6 weeks ahead, because it allows them to support, each of the subjects allows them to support one another. And really the traction it's incredible how quickly the kids are able, the pace is able to go a lot faster.
Do you think it's because of the new approach in teaching? I mean, physics is physics.
Right.
Certain things change. Calculus is calculus. Minor things change, but when you put it together, is it a means to put one step ahead of the other and make the dance a little bit smoother?
I think it's that, and I think the subjects that just lend themselves to each other as you teach them. So I would let them explain it in more detail, because they are the professionals in that subject area.
Well, let's mark that as something to do for 2017.
Absolutely. Then. They would love to come back, and I know that they would love to share more about their experience.
Good. Of course, as we've done, we've launched new tech the way we have this year. Of course, the report card is always the question.
It is,
and
it should be.
And it should be. And value added. That's an important step in where we are in this report card, correct?
It's an incredible step. So, as you look at the report card, what's the most important piece really is, are our students growing? So, when we received an A in value added, it was a huge step, and really, I think the first step in the direction that we're going.
Good. Do you think that it was that value added actually came from the change in perception as things were coming district-wide down to the schools themselves. Obviously, when you're implementing something as drastic as this, and I don't want to say drastic as something ominous. It's definitely something of great traction, great value added. But it can be scary as well. And for those who aren't latching onto it, may not be able to do so. But the district has. Do you think that has made that boost in that A?
I certainly don't think it's one thing.
Okay.
I think it's a supportive Board of Education, a superintendent that has a vision and is bold and daring. And I think it's a teaching and learning staff. And I mean, everybody has a piece of the puzzle here. Everyone has, and it's an incredible teaching staff that we have, a support staff that supports our teaching staff. I mean, it really is, everybody has a piece of the A, for sure.
Sure.
For sure.
And speaking from a district level, being a part of it, do you feel a part? As you're saying, do you feel you have that puzzle? You could be the corner or the edge or something in the center. Do you feel that you are a part of that, putting that piece in? And if you're feeling it, obviously the others are as well.
I feel the excitement around it. I definitely feel the educational innovation taking place. And I always see myself as a support role. I support community engagement. I support the district. So as I approach any staff member, any event, any of the multiple things that are on my plate, which I absolutely love my job, but I always approach it as a support role. I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve not only the staff, but the community.
And that's a good way to approach that. Again, not only because it's part of your title, but I think that's a part of a district, that you are a part of something, not leading the charge and hoping others will follow.
Absolutely.
Well, kind of going that same leading and charging, there's a lot of charging when there is actually 2 new sports that are joining the Winton Woods Pantheon, so to speak.
Right. So we're really excited about this as well. We are launching this school year lacrosse for boys, and then rowing for girls. We've been working with the Great Parks of Cincinnati.
Absolutely, a great place to do that.
They have been fantastic. So we've been working with them on getting a temporary dock for now into the Winton Woods Waterway, the Winton Woods Lake, and then eventually we're hoping to build a permanent. They're hoping to build a permanent dock for the rowing team.
And again, this is with a great partnership as the Winton Woods School District has been doing with many parts of the community.
Right.
So there's no change there. When you look at some lacrosse, we've seen you can watch lacrosse on Waycross on occasion, and now you'll be able to more with it being a part of the Winton Woods School District. But rowing is something new and unique. How many other rowing teams are there within the district? Not just Winton Woods, obviously, but in the district so that they can compete.
You know, what's interesting, I'm not sure exactly on the numbers, but, the biggest challenge for schools is the water. Oftentimes schools have to travel quite a distance to even go and practice on the water, whereas we have it literally in our backyard.
True. It's true.
So it is such a blessing to be able to, it makes good sense, and it's a real blessing to the district to be able to bring a sport like rowing, which I happen to know that last year we received a letter from Rutgers just asking, they knew we didn't have a rowing team, but asking, what athletes do you have that might be a good fit for our rowing team at Rutgers? So I just thought that's how much demand there are for rowers, and the scholarships left on the table for rowing is something we want for our students. That's where we're greedy. We want scholarships for our students. So, and we're determined to get some.
Well, we've gained 2, which is great. Are we looking out further in the horizon? I know that we haven't touched the 2017 preview, so to speak, but 2020, are we looking maybe something different? Or is that a vision that Mr. Smith and I need to speak about?
Oh, maybe maybe with Mr. Smith. So not that I've heard of so far as another athletic event
Sure.
or sport coming in, but you just never know. We have a lot of other exciting things coming up.
I love it. Of course, you are watching and listening to the Warriors Supercast here on White Cross Community Media. I am joined with Karina Denny discussing the 2016-2017 year, little preview and a year-end review. I am looking now, we've moved through pretty much the beginning of the school year. We got to November. We had a little instance on the ballot,
Right.
not just presidential, but we're talking about the Wynwood School District levy that was on there. It was a bond issue, and it passed. It meant great things for the district, moving it forward, creating that, as we said earlier, that campus feel that will eventually come, and here we are. Let's make some great things happen with what's going on. When will those changes start, now that we've got everything in hand? Obviously, it won't be tomorrow.
Yes, it won't be, but I can tell you, we woke up thinking, okay, let's go. I mean, literally, I woke up thinking of all the things we need to start, like, right now.
Sure.
Right now. So, it's always our goal to communicate in every way we can with the community. Thus, this is one of the new things that we've done, which is the podcast and videocast.
Absolutely.
But I also created a webpage. It is wintonwoods.org /construction-update. And that's going to have all of our current, and it's already filled with some things that we're planning on, that we're doing.
Okay.
So a lot of it is we're planning community conversations. We're looking to do a visioning project. So there's a lot of things we're planning to do. So I encourage our community, if they want to know some updates, go to that website, go to our website and click on construction updates, and you'll always see the most recent updates there.
You made mention of the community conversations, which we had been doing leading up to the new tech launch,
Right.
introducing the new tech launch, being a part of the launch itself.
Right.
And now it sounds like you'd like those conversations to continue, especially when it comes to the construction of the buildings and what's happening to the vision forward.
Right.
Am I reading that correctly? And are we going to be kind of doing a little bit more with the state of the schools and moving that on as well?
Absolutely. So first of all, I wanted to start with thank you to our community, to our parents that came out and helped, to students who stood up and gave the student body a voice, to our staff, our Board of Education, our incredible superintendent, to all of our executive team and staff members. So many people put their personal time into making sure that that correct information got out of the opportunity that we had in front of us. And I am so thankful that our community decided to put and invest in our not just in our students and not just in our staff, but they're investing in their community. Sure. We're going to be getting millions of dollars from the state investing in our community. So I'm excited to see what that does for us. And then to your point, community conversations, we will definitely be. We need our input from our community as to what do we want our schools to have in them. Obviously, we're going to be a new tech district and a project-based learning district, so our classrooms and a lot of the things need to be built around that. So right now we're going to, just yesterday we went to a project-based learning new school design, just to kind of see what was out there, what are other people doing, what does it actually look like? Because we can talk about it on paper and in conversation, but what does it look like? And it was extremely valuable to see it in person.
Well, especially if you don't see it in action as well, because if you're not certain how something is going to run or how a layout might affect this versus that, then you're just building another building and piecing it together, and that's not what you want to do, especially when you have the opportunity that we have today.
Absolutely.
Of course, before we get into 2017, we do have to just bring up one little thing that was not on our cheat sheet. The 25th anniversary of Wynwood School District as a whole. We're celebrating that this year as well. I'm surprised I brought it up before you did.
Well, it's interesting because we actually thought about that and how great it was to be able to pass a bond and what that meant for our students in
Sure.
the 25th year. So we were really excited to be able to do that, and we're enjoying celebrating that milestone for us.
It's a good birthday, so to speak,
Yes.
because it celebrates what has happened, and now as we're going into the 2017 kind of preview here, it's what is to come and what can happen. So what can we say that is coming, that obviously January is just around the corner, and
Right.
as you said, not everything's going to happen instantaneous, it's a growing thing, but there's some great new things coming out there.
There are, and just as a little sneak peek, we have a new website coming out, and we're working on that right now, trying to get it out as soon as we can. But my goal with the website, or our goal with the website, was to make sure it's really user friendly, but simple and easy for our parents and our community to use. So we'll be launching that very soon. We also have new partnerships. I don't know if we've mentioned on here. We partnered this year with the Underground in Forest Park.
Yes, we did. We
did,
actually
okay.
had a few people on from the Underground. But
Fantastic.
The other one that we
Okay.
did not discuss, obviously, is the Freedom Center.
Right. So we recently met with the Freedom Center, and we're really excited to be able to partner with them in a project culmination showcase. It'll be on March 22nd, and we're going to take some of the projects from all the buildings. It's a district-wide. We're gonna have a district-wide project around freedom.
Okay.
And each grade level will be doing projects around freedom. And, that museum is so rich and so powerful. We actually went on a tour of it recently, and so we're excited to be able to partner with them, just one more extension of Winton Woods, and to be able to showcase some projects down at the Freedom Center on March 22nd.
Well, it sounds like there's some great new things coming up,
There
and
are.
especially showing what Winton Woods can do, what Winton Woods has done, and what Winton Woods will do come the future.
Right.
And I think what I would like to, in my mind, kind of culminate 2016, 2017 is back a few years ago when I want to say the schools became a little fractured. You had the intermediate, and then we consolidated, and we still were a little bit fractured. We still lost a little bit of identity. But come now with the bond issue and the great possibilities of what's going to happen with that campus, I think we can absolutely say it is now Winton Woods.
Yes.
I think that's probably the best way to sum up the year this year.
Right.
From the campus to the field to the community engaging with one another to make things happen.
Right.
It's not something we've seen in a very long time.
Well, I'll end with how we started, which it's a really exciting time to be here, and excited about where we're going. We also have the Ohio Department of Education is in the process of evaluating our preschool program, so we're waiting on a star rating from them.
Sure.
We're excited about that. And then we also really want to invite our businesses in to help us with projects.
Sure.
Bring that authenticity and that true engagement to our students, allow students to really be able to work with our community members, our business partners, would be fantastic for us.
It will be. And that's the best, like you said, best way to sum it up for the year. It has been a wonderful 2016-2017 year. Thank you, Karina, for coming in and joining us.
Thank you,
I'm
Jason.
sure in January when we reconvene, Mr. Smith will bring some wonderful people, and of course you'll be in the background watching along.
That's right.
So, Karina, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jason.
And of course, I want to thank all of you for joining us as well. This has been Warrior Supercast, the podcast for the Winton Woods School District, highlighting the superstars of the district. Have a happy holidays. We'll see you in January.